Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to a deep dive into Universal's Volcano Bay. And forget everything you think you know about typical water parks.
Hmm.
Our sources here suggest this place is, well, something different, a water theme park, complete with a rich backstory, unique tech, and food that might just surprise you.
Exactly. It's not just spring water everywhere. We've got a stack of source material, everything from official park guides, operational details, even a personal guest account someone shared online, which is pretty
Oh,
interesting.
cool.
And a comparative piece looking at how Volcano Bay, stacks up against other big parks. Think of this deep dive as your essential shortcut, your way to feeling like a Volcano Bay insider.
Right, whether you're actually planning a trip or just kind of curious about what makes this place tick.
Precisely. We're going to distill the most important knowledge and insights from all these sources, uncovering those nuggets you really need to know.
And right away, the sources paint, well, an interesting picture. One calls it potentially the best water park ever big claim.
Huge claim.
Yeah, with chill island vibes and minimal lines, supposedly thanks to its tech. But then others are a bit more uh, grounded.
More realistic, maybe.
Yeah, acknowledging the potential for significant crowds and lines that absolutely require some smart management if you want to have a good day.
And that contrast, I think, between the ideal guest experience they're aiming for and the reality of a super popular place. It's fascinating.
It is.
It tells us there's a system designed to manage those crowds, but crucially, you need to understand how to use it effectively, which is definitely something we'll get into.
Okay, good. So here's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Hmm.
To understand Volcano Bay, you kind of have to start with its foundation, the story.
Hmm. The lore.
The story of the island, its people, the Waturi. Then we'll jump into the absolute key to navigating the park,
Mm.
that Tapu Tapu wearable thing,
First band, yeah.
and the virtual queue system. Plus, the surprisingly crucial topic of where to keep your stuff, their unique locker setup.
Oh, yeah. Lockers are key in a water park.
Totally.
Yeah.
Then we'll fuel up, explore the must-try food and drink options. The sources highlight some sound amazing. And finally, we'll break down the attractions from, terrifying drops to relaxing rivers and how to make the most of your time there.
So, what does this all mean for you listening? It means we're going on a journey through Volcano Bay, uncovering the surprising facts, maybe some operational secrets, and definitely actionable tips that can transform a regular day into a smooth, really enjoyable one, all based on what our sources reveal.
Let's start right at the beginning then with the origin story of this volcanic island paradise. It sounds pretty elaborate.
It really is. Volcano Bay isn't just, rides plopped down on some land. Universal built this whole narrative around it. They specifically present it as a unique water theme park.
Right, and the sources detail this whole mythology that kind of explains everything, the look, the feel, the atmosphere.
Exactly. The sources tell us about these people, the Waturi. Apparently, their original home was getting overcrowded, maybe a bit cold, so they set out in their outrigger canoes.
Just packed up and left.
Yeah, searching for a new, better place to live. And the legend says they were guided by this mystical, playful fish named Kunuku.
A fish guide. Okay.
Yeah.
And they sailed everywhere, didn't they? One source specifically mentioned them crossing Pacifica.
Hitting islands like Bali, Tahiti, even Easter Island. And the story goes they were absorbing customs, music, art from all the cultures they met along the way.
So kind of collecting inspiration.
Exactly. But despite visiting all these places, they never found Kunuku again for a long time. The story says they paddled for years, thousands of miles, until they reached what they thought was the edge of the world. And there, in the waves, they finally found Kunuku again, playing, and she apparently told them, "You are ready," and pointed them towards the horizon.
And that led them to Volcano Bay.
Within a day, supposedly, they saw it, this smoking mountain rising out of the sea. That was Volcano Bay.
And the sources describe it as like pristine, beautiful, lush.
Yeah, an island that welcomed them warmly. So the Waturi settled there, bringing with them all those diverse traditions and art styles they'd gathered on their journey. The story presents it as, the closest place to paradise on Earth.
But even paradise had its drama, right? There's this whole tale involving a fiery god named Krakatau.
That's right, the mythology gets pretty intense here. Krakatau apparently ruled the land with a fiery temper, and he had a daughter, Tainui.
Okay.
She had this adventurous spirit, fell in love with a local youth named Kyla, but Kyla was forbidden to her by Krakatau.
The classic forbidden love story, which, predictably, sent Krakatoa into a rage.
A terrifying rage, according to the legend. In his fury, he banished Kyla forever, casting him up into the sky where he became the moon.
Became the moon. Wow, okay,
Oh.
that's quite the punishment. And then Tainui, his daughter.
Her grief was immense. The story says her tears of sorrow over losing Kyla became the vast, endless sea.
So the moon and the sea in the park's lore have this tragic origin.
It's a really powerful setup for the park's elements. But the legend concludes that Krakatoa, seeing his daughter's deep sorrow, eventually realized the destruction his anger had caused.
He had a change of heart.
Seems so. In this grand act of reconciliation, he reached deep into the earth and pulled it towards the sky, creating the huge volcano Krakatoa that dominates the park.
The centerpiece.
Exactly. And crucially for the park's story, he trapped his own leftover anger, his jealousy, that volatility.
Yeah.
He turned it into a fire spirit named Vol,
Vo.
and he imprisoned Vol deep inside the volcano.
So the volcano holds this trapped spirit of anger.
And that's the story. And the result, according to Watiri legend, is that the sky, Kala, the moon, the sea, Tainui's tears, and the earth, Krakatoa's volcano, all united to form the serene, beautiful paradise that is Volcano Bay today.
Man, that is a surprisingly detailed and interwoven myth for a water park.
Yeah.
It's way more than just tropical theme.
Absolutely. And the sources actually explain the practical reasons Universal created this whole story. It goes beyond just having a cool theme.
Okay, like what?
Well, one main reason highlighted is it justifies the park's look, that eclectic mix of South Pacific styles.
Right, because the Waturis traveled everywhere.
Exactly. By having them travel and collect influences from places like Bali, Tahiti, Easter Island, Universal can use architecture, patterns, music from all these different regions, and it doesn't feel random or, like cultural appropriation.
Ah, I see. It's framed as the Waturi sharing the cultures they encountered.
Precisely. It's a clever narrative device to tie it all together.
That makes sense.
And maybe even more significantly, the sources emphasize the story is designed to create a specific feeling for visitors. That tale of welcome, finding paradise, friendship, it's all meant to explain why guests are welcomed so warmly.
And why they push that Waturi time idea.
Exactly. That carefree, island style, relax and go with the flow vibe the park promotes. It's all part of the immersion.
And the story isn't just written down somewhere. It's actually built into the park's tech, right? Through the Tapu thing and what they call Tapu play.
That's where the narrative really comes alive, yeah. The sources mention various ways you can interact with the environment using your Tapu wristband.
Like making things happen.
Yeah, you can activate water sprays in certain spots, make hidden pictures light up in caverns, trigger sounds. It's like the island itself is responding to you.
That's pretty cool. And the most intriguing part, tied right back to the origin story, is interacting with Vol, the fire spirit trapped in the volcano.
Yes. The sources mention specific Tapu points near the volcano where you can supposedly hear sounds, feel vibrations, suggesting Vol is definitely in there. And there's speculation in the sources about where this could go. Could guests learn more Waturi history, maybe about the island's creation, directly from Vol? Could Vol guide you on tasks or reveal secrets?
It really makes you think about the future of theme park tech, doesn't it? Is Universal maybe using Volcano Bay as a sort of testing ground?
Yeah, refining these deeper interactive narrative elements, building on ideas we've seen hints of elsewhere, like, the goal of really immersive interaction in places like Super Nintendo World.
Could interacting with characters woven into the park's core story become the standard way guests experience theme parks down the line?
It's a really fascinating possibility. Blending that rich lore with actual tangible tech interaction to create this multi-layered experience that goes way beyond just riding the rides. It connects you to the place.
Totally. But okay, as fascinating as the mythology is, visiting a theme park, especially one with water, requires some serious practical planning.
Oh, absolutely. Got to get down to brass tacks.
So moving from the magical origins to the essential mechanics, let's dive into the logistics. Getting there, how you handle lines with the Tapu, and that absolutely vital question, where do you stash your stuff?
Logistics are definitely key for a smooth day at Volcano Bay. And getting there is actually pretty convenient if you're staying on Universal property.
Okay, the sources confirm you can walk from some hotels.
Yep. Specifically, Aventura Hotel and Cabana Bay Beach Resort. They have dedicated walking paths, which is a huge plus, saves time.
Nice. What about other Universal hotels?
For any of the others, there's a complimentary bus service, and one source usefully notes those buses typically start running around 7 a.m.
Oh, good to know if you're an early bird trying to beat the crowds.
Exactly. get a jump on things.
So once you arrive, the first thing they give you is that Tapu wearable.
The wristband.
This is basically your key to the whole park experience, right?
Yeah.
It's central to managing your day.
Totally. Hand it out to every single guest when you walk in. And its main function, the thing that really changed the water park game, is the virtual queue system.
Okay, explain that. The idea is instead of standing in those long, hot physical lines for the popular slides,
Right, you just walk up to the right entrance, find the Tapu touch point there. It's usually pretty obvious.
and you just tap your
You
wristband.
scan your wristband, yeah. And boom, your Tapu registers your spot in the virtual line. The watch face will then show you an estimated wait time.
And then you're free. You don't have to stand there.
Exactly. You're free to go enjoy other stuff in the park. The crucial part is the watch buzzes or notifies you when it's almost your turn. Usually gives you like a 5 or 10 minute heads up to start walking back to the ride.
That sounds incredible compared to, baking in a switchback line for an hour.
Yeah.
Really enables that Waturi time thing they talk about.
It absolutely does. It turns waiting time into, well, leisure time. But, and this is a critical limitation, the sources point out, you can only be in one virtual queue at a time.
Oh, okay. For the major rides, you mean?
Yeah, for the big headliners, you can't just scan into everything first thing and stack up your weights.
That makes sense. Otherwise, the system wouldn't work. So if you're in the virtual queue for, say, the big aqua coaster, what can you do while you're waiting?
That's where the system shines. That waiting time can be used for literally anything else. You can hit rides that are showing red now status.
Meaning no virtual wait?
Right, basically just a short physical queue, if any. Or you can go chill on Waturi Beach, float in the Fearless River, which we'll definitely talk more about, grab some food, browse the shops. It encourages you to explore, not just stand still.
Okay. Speaking of grabbing food or chilling out, you need somewhere safe for your phone, wallet, dry clothes, lockers.
Absolutely pivotal at a water park, and Volcano Bay's system is, again, tied into the Tapu. It's a bit different from the lockers you find at, say, Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure.
How so? And what are the options?
The sources detail 3 sizes: small, which are $14 for the day currently, medium run, $20, and the large ones are $25.
And where are they located? Spread out.
Yeah, pretty conveniently located. 5 main spots. There's a bank right outside the park entrance, which maybe avoid using that one if you can wait.
Where's that?
Well, if you need to get back to it later, you'd have to exit and re-enter the park. Better to wait till you're inside.
Good tip. Where are the inside ones?
There are banks in the Wave Village area near the main Waturi Beach, one on the east side, one on the west. There's another set in River Village, kind of towards the middle, and then more in Rainforest Village, which is deeper into the park towards the back.
And one source had a really specific tip for crowded days, right? About the Rainforest Village location.
Yes. Great pro tip. The locker bank that's tucked away between the Makapui raft ride and the Bamboo restaurant back there. It tends to be more secluded, potentially less chaotic than the ones right by the entrance or the main beach. Worth seeking out if it's busy.
Smart. Okay, so how do you actually pay for and use these Tapu lockers?
A few ways to pay. There are kiosks near the locker banks where you can use cash. Or you can find an attendant if you want to link it to your Tapu that's connected to your credit card, or even your Universal hotel room key for charging.
Or directly at the locker?
Yeah, potentially the quickest way if you have a credit card handy, you can often rent right at the individual locker's touchscreen interface.
And once you've paid and it's linked to your Tapu band.
Super simple. You just walk up to your assigned locker, scan your wristband at the little sensor on the door, and pop. It opens.
And locking it.
Just close the door firmly. That's it. No code to remember, no key to lose in the lazy river.
Nice. And reopening is just another scan.
Yep, scan again to reopen. You can access it as many times as you need all day long.
What about for families or groups? Can multiple people access one locker?
Yes, which is really handy. One person rents it, and then there's usually a button or option on the locker screen to link other people's Taputopus from your group to that same locker, so anyone links can open it.
That's convenient.
And the sources also note, if you decide to splurge on premium seating or a cabana,
You get a locker included.
exactly, it's one of the perks. You get a family-size one with a cabana or access to a shared locker area if you have premium seating. These are typically accessed by just one designated Tapu from the party renting the space, though.
Gotcha. And the source that detailed all this also briefly mentioned how different this is from the other Universal Parks lockers.
Yeah, just as a contrast, it mentioned the daily lockers at the front of Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure use your park ticket or maybe facial recognition now. And the attraction lockers there, like for coasters, often have that free period just for the ride duration.
But then they charge you if you go overtime.
Right. So it just highlights how Volcano Bay's Tapu Tapu integration creates this distinct park-wide system that's really woven into their whole tech approach.
Okay, before we leave logistics,
Yeah.
there was that point of conflicting advice in the sources about arrival time, specifically early entry.
Ah, yes, the how early is too early debate. This is where that personal account and maybe some other official info offered different takes.
One personal account strongly advised getting there super early, like 7:00 or 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, especially if you're staying at a Ventura or Cabana Bay and can walk over. They believed it gave them a massive advantage getting in line before the buses from other hotels started arriving, which they noted was around 7 a.m.
Okay, so they felt it was worth it. But another source pushed back on that.
Pretty strongly, yeah. They basically said there's absolutely no reason to arrive that early. They even contradicted the idea that lots of rides are open right at the crack of dawn.
What was their reasoning?
They stated the park might officially open much later, say 9 or 10 a.m., and early admission might only be 30 or 60 minutes before that. And crucially, they said often many slides, especially the smaller or mid-tier ones, don't even open until later in the morning anyway, even after the park is officially open.
So what's the benefit of early entry then, according to them?
Their perspective was the real main benefit of early admission is pretty limited.
Okay.
Getting onto the Krakatoa Aqua Coaster with a minimal wait right at the start.
The most popular ride.
Exactly. And maybe snagging a prime beach chair spot near the wave pool before they all get taken.
Okay, so what does this mean for you planning a visit? It sounds like arriving before the general public rush is definitely good.
Yes, getting there before official park opening time seems universally recommended.
But the sources disagree on how much before and what you'll actually get to do during that extra early window.
Right. It likely depends heavily on the park's operating hours for that specific day and what Universal actually decides to open for those early admission guests. It might vary.
So the takeaway is, get there early, yes, but maybe showing up at 6:45 a.m. might be overkill, unless riding Krakatoa first or getting that perfect chair is your absolute #1 mission.
That seems like a balanced view based on the conflicting sources. Aim for early, but manage expectations about how much we'll be running right away.
All right, logistics covered.
Yeah.
Phew. Now for the really fun stuff, the attractions themselves.
Yes, rides and slides.
The sources tell us Volcano Bay has, 19 total attractions, with one specifically counting 12 distinct water slides. It's clearly a mix, though.
Definitely. They aim for everything from super intense thrill rides to more relaxed ways to just float or splash around, something for most people.
One crucial planning detail mentioned is height requirements. Need to pay attention to those.
Absolutely. Many of the slides require riders to be 42 inches tall or even 48 inches for the more intense ones.
So for the really little kids.
Yeah, for the youngest visitors, the options are more limited. It's mainly the pools, Waturi Beach, and the lazy river that have no height restriction at all. Something to keep in mind if you have toddlers or very young children in your group.
Okay, let's walk through some of the key ride types and specific attractions mentioned in the sources. We can use that personal account that ranked them to get a sense of the actual guest experience.
Sounds good. And you basically have to start with the icon, right? The Krakatoa Aqua Coaster.
Yeah, it seems like the park's signature ride. The sources describe it as that unique combo, part water slide, part roller coaster.
Using those linear induction motors, the LIM technology, to actually push your raft uphill. It's not just gravity doing the work, it's located on the backside of the main volcano structure.
And the personal review. Did they like it?
They loved it, called it super fun, great for riding with family or friends. They noted you don't get absolutely drenched, which some people prefer, and that the ride lasts a decent amount of time. It's not over in seconds.
But the downside.
The waits. They underscored its popularity means the virtual queue times can get really long, like up to 150 minutes long on busy days.
Yeah.
Which just reinforces that strategy. Try to ride it immediately when the park opens if you can, or make it the very first virtual queue you join when you arrive.
Okay. Then there are the rides that just look terrifying. The trapdoor body plunges from the top of the volcano. Kokiri, the big body plunge, sounds like the main one.
That's the big kahuna of drops, yeah. It's the one where you step into that narrow vertical tube way up high.
And the floor just vanishes.
Exactly. Floor drops out and you plummet almost straight down through a clear tube. Free fall feeling, the personal reviewer's concise take. Terrifying.
I bet. And you have to work for that terror, right? The climb.
Oh, yeah. The sources point out this slide requires climbing 200 steps up the side of the volcano just to reach the launch platform. It's a serious workout.
So worth the climb.
The reviewer called it a very good slide, but did question if it was worth so many steps just for a few seconds of going straight down. Fair point.
Strategy here. Same as Krakatoa.
Pretty much. Write it first thing if you can to potentially skip the virtual queue or join the queue early because it definitely builds up.
Also launching from that same 200-step high platform are the serpentine trapdoor slides, Kala and Tai Nui.
Right, same trapdoor start, but instead of straight down, these plunge you into twisting enclosed tunnels, like watery snakes.
Are they identical?
The sources differentiate them slightly. Kala is apparently a bit milder, maybe faster twists. Tai Nui is said to have a more noticeable final drop near the end.
And there was a cool design detail mentioned.
Yeah, Kala and Tai Nui are side by side. The way they're designed, if two people drop at the same time, their clear tubes actually crisscross, so you might catch a glimpse of the other rider.
Fun. Reviewers' take on these.
They found these really fun, described them as fast and frightening, but just the right level of thrill. They'd happily ride them again, if not for all those stairs.
That climb is clearly a factor.
Seems to be a recurring theme for the volcano top slides. Best to do these earlier in the day, too. Minimize that virtual wait.
Okay, moving down the intensity scale just a notch, but still thrilling the drop slides. Oya and Ono.
These sound like classic fun body slides, fast, fun turns, good speed, but they end with a splashy drop into a pool. Ohaya drops you 4 feet, Ono drops you 6 feet.
And there's a critical safety note here from the sources.
Yes, absolutely crucial. You must be a good swimmer for Oya and Ono. You are launching into a pool at the end, not sliding into a run-out trough.
Good warning. How are the reviews for these?
Highly positive. One called Oya, everything you want in a water slide. Smooth speed, fun turns, big drop. Ono was actually ranked as the top slide for that particular reviewer, specifically because of the speed and that bigger 6-foot drop.
And strategically, these are useful.
Yes, the sources point out Oya and Ono often show Ride Now status on the Tapu Tapu, meaning you can frequently just walk up and ride with minimal waiting time.
Ah, so perfect for filling time while you're in a virtual queue for Krakatoa or one of the trapdoors.
Exactly. Keep an eye on their status.
Okay, let's talk raft rides. The Taniwa Tubes, Rocky and Tonga are two-person rafts.
Yep. Located back in the Rainforest Village area, these let you ride with a partner.
What's the difference between Rocky and Tonga?
Rocky is described as being fully enclosed, so it's a darker, more tunnel-like experience. Tonga mixes it up with both open sections offering views of the park and enclosed tunnel sections.
What did the reviewer think?
Found Rocky such a fun slide, called it fast and fun, something they were laughing on most of the time. They actually enjoyed Tonga slightly more, though, because of those open areas, the views, and they felt it was maybe just a tiny bit faster, but summarized both as just fun options.
And wait times for these.
Similar to Oya and Ono, the Taniwa tubes often have minimal waits, another good option for filling that virtual queue time.
What about racing? There are racing slides, right? Bunga racers?
Yep, for the competitive types. These are 4 side-by-side slides where you ride on a mat head first.
How does the racing work?
You grab a mat, pick one of the 4 lanes, get in position, and wait for the lifeguard signal. Then everyone goes at once, racing down. They even announce the winner at the bottom, apparently.
Fun. Special or just standard racers?
The personal review found them fun, but nothing special. Basically, good for racing friends or family. They usually have short waits, too, so again, easy to hop on while waiting for something bigger.
And the Reddit guide source mentioned other raft rides, too, like Hanuika Moana and Makupurhi.
Right, just reinforcing the variety. Those are likely the bigger, multi-person, family-style raft rides located in different villages around the park, so lots of slide types covered.
But Volcano Bay isn't just slides and thrills. The sources really highlight the relaxing options, too, embracing that Waturi time.
Absolutely essential for the full experience.
Yeah.
And the Fearless River sounds like a major highlight for many people.
Describe that. It's not just a standard lazy river.
No, it's described as more extensive, faster moving, more adventurous than your typical slow float. You wear a mandatory life jacket and the current carries you along, but there are apparently some wavy sections and maybe faster currents, more active.
And the review for this.
One personal reviewer gave it a huge thumbs up. said they could spend hours there, found it simply amazing.
And strategically useful, too.
Explicitly noted as being incredibly useful for killing time while you're in a virtual queue. Just hop in the river, float around, wait for your Tapu Tapu to buzz, then hop out and head to your ride. Perfect use of waiting time.
Then there's Waturi Beach. That's the main beach area.
Yeah, located right near the park entrance at the base of the Krakatoa volcano, it features a big wave pool. Classic water park element.
So another good spot to relax or wait out a virtual queue?
Definitely. Catch some sun, splash in the waves, though the reviewer who absolutely loved the Fearless River seemed to prefer that more active relaxation experience over just sitting on the beach. Personal preference, I guess.
And we mentioned earlier, for the ultimate relaxation, there are the paid upgrades.
Right, the premium seating and the private cabanas,
Hmm.
dedicated comfy lounge areas, often with food and drink service, shade, and those included lockers we talked about. That's how you really dial up the Waturi time to maximum chill if you're willing to splurge.
Okay, now, let's talk about something maybe unexpected for a water park, but which our sources spend a lot of time raving about: the food.
Yes, this was one of the most surprising takeaways. Volcano Bay apparently isn't just serving up, basic burgers and soggy fries.
The food guide source takes us on a whole tour, right? Starting from the right side of the park.
Yeah, first stop is Kahola Reef Restaurant and Social Club. It's right near Waturi Beach in that boat-shaped bar.
And it's highlighted for having variety.
Huge variety. It has 3 different serving windows, offering different things: chicken, seafood, burgers, even these really long pizzas.
What were the specific recommendations there?
Okay, buckle up. There's the Kahola chicken sandwich, tandoori spiced chicken, slaw, avocado mayo on a Hawaiian bun. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
A mahi sandwich platter on coconut bread with pineapple salsa and remoulade. Hawaiian ribs that are just delicious, and you gotta just dig in.
Sounds solid, but the absolute rave reviews went somewhere else.
To the coconut curry chicken. Described as braised chicken in this green coconut curry sauce with coconut rice, cilantro, sweet plantains.
Wow.
The source absolutely raved about this, even offered pro tips. Tip 1, get extra rice to soak up all that amazing sauce. Tip 2, even more pro. Dip your Kahola chicken sandwich into the curry sauce.
Okay, that's some next-level insider advice right there.
That's the kind of gold you find in these deep dives. And that same reviewer's personal geo dish, the one they get every time, the mango BBQ pulled pork sandwich.
I love that.
Pulled pork with mango BBQ sauce, caramelized pineapple, slaw, served with seasoned fries. And they specifically emphasized how good those seasoned fries are. Don't skip the fries.
Noted. Does Kahola Reef have quick options too?
Yeah, they mentioned grab-and-go stuff like salads, sushi, wraps, fruit cups, even breakfast pizzas if you hit it early.
Yeah.
Okay, moving past Kahola. These rainforest carts sound small.
Unassuming kiosks, the source called them, but don't walk past. They highlighted specific unique treats, like the coconut watermelon chia pudding.
Chia pudding at a water park.
Yep, described as creamy, visually appealing, Instagram-ready. And for adults, they serve the volcano boba, that's 21 plus pineapple juice, coconut water, blue curacao, and mango boba. Sounds refreshing.
Interesting. Further in, there's Wakawaiwai Eats, near
No.
the lazy river.
Yeah, near the Kopeka Wai winding river, the lazy one, and the kiddie area. Nice shaded seating there. Serves island-style twists on park favorites.
Like what?
They've got huge foot-long pretzel dogs, an island BBQ chicken pizza with that mango BBQ sauce, red onions, Gouda, but the source saved their biggest reaction for something else.
What was it?
The jerk shrimp mac and cheese combo. They wrote wow, 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 W about this one.
Shrimp mac and cheese.
It does.
Seriously.
Pan-seared jerk shrimp tossed with pasta shells and a creamy white cheddar sauce. The source insisted it's delicious even on a hot day. That sounds surprisingly substantial and flavorful for theme park food.
Definitely not just chicken fingers. Okay, what about the Feasting Frog? Hidden gem.
Yeah, described as a popular hidden gem, it's a kiosk that looks like a frog near the Kanuku Boat Bar. Tex-Mex vibes here.
What do they recommend?
They feature a vegan chorizo bowl. Described as pineapple on pineapple, it has pineapple vinaigrette, pineapple salsa served with chips.
And the pro tip there.
Get that vegan chorizo bowl and pair it with a margarita from the Kanuku Boat Bar right nearby. Perfect combo.
Well,
They also offer a lighter poke bowl, raw ahi tuna, pineapple salsa, soy honey vinaigrette.
nice lighter option.
Mm.
Then there's bamboo in a quieter area.
Yeah, back toward the rainforest village near those Taniwa tube slides maybe.
Yeah.
Offer some standard fare, but also some unique veggie options.
What stood out there?
The island chicken salad got a good mention. Light, fresh, good protein, diced chicken, fruit, almonds, creamy coconut dressing. The source even said it's so good you might want to try making it at home.
High praise. Vegetarian option.
A quinoa edamame burger. Plus, they have the standard bacon cheeseburger, chicken tenders, and also things like chicken teriyaki, shrimp, or even chicken katsu rice bowls, and a spicy chicken sandwich. Lots of choice.
Okay, need something cold after all those slides? Ice cream?
Coca Paroca ice cream, hard to miss, near the merchandise shop. Perfect cool-down treat. Flavors in a cup or cone.
Any specific flavor recommended?
The source recommended trying the Waturi Fusion Soft Serve. It's that colorful swirl banana, blue, raspberry, orange, and strawberry all mixed together.
Sounds fun. And lastly, for the VIPs, cabana dining?
Right, exclusive menu items just for guests who rented a cabana or maybe premium seating. These sound seriously impressive.
Worth the splurge just for the food, maybe?
According to the source, potentially yes. They highly recommended the pineapple and shrimp fried rice. It features a jerk shrimp pineapple skewer and is served inside a hollowed-out half pineapple.
Wow, presentation.
The source called it too good to share, and the arugula melon salad was praised for being simple, fresh, but with huge chunks of cheese. Can't go wrong there.
Okay, so a clear theme emerges from the food source. Lots of pineapple and coconut.
Absolutely. It runs through almost everything, really connects that food experience back to the whole tropical island Waturi story theme. It's not just eating, it's part of the immersion.
Now, to put Volcano Bay in a bit of context,
Yeah.
one of our sources, that NerdWallet article, briefly compared it to Disney's Typhoon Lagoon.
Right, that comparison is helpful. It highlights some key differences in philosophy and offerings.
What were the main points? Volcano Bay is newer.
Newer, yeah, and generally characterized as being more thrill-oriented, more slides overall, and more of those slides have stricter height requirements.
And pricing.
Tickets for Volcano Bay can often be more expensive, and crucially, the price varies based on demand, like hotel pricing. It changes depending on the day and how busy they expect to be.
Plus, Volcano Bay has the Express Pass option, right, to pay extra to skip lines.
Exactly. You can buy an express pass to bypass the virtual queue waits on select rides, adding another potential cost, but also a convenience.
How does Typhoon Lagoon compare, then? Older.
Older, yeah.
Yep.
And generally described as more family-friendly. Fewer intense slides, fewer height restrictions overall, making it maybe more accessible for families with really little kids.
And the tickets.
Tend to be cheaper, offered at a flat rate, same price regardless of the day, and there are typically more discount opportunities available for Typhoon Lagoon.
But the big operational difference? Lines.
Typhoon Lagoon does not offer any kind of line skipping option. No virtual queue like Tapu, no paid express pass. It's all traditional stand-in-line queues.
So based on that comparison, who is Volcano Bay better for?
The source suggests Volcano Bay likely appeals more to thrill seekers, groups of adults or families with older kids who meet the height requirements, and people who really value using technology like Tapu or paying for express to manage their time and minimize waiting.
And Typhoon Lagoon.
Probably better for families with very young children due to fewer height issues, or budget-conscious visitors looking for that lower flat-rate ticket who don't mind traditional queuing.
It really clarifies the different approaches and maybe target audiences.
It does. And okay, let's wrap up with some final practical tips and answers to common questions pulled from the various sources we looked at. Just quick hits to round things out.
Good idea. What if you get to the front of a slide queue, maybe one that requires lockers, like the drop slides, and realize you forgot to put your phone away?
Bad news. According to the sources, you'll almost certainly be asked to leave the queue and go secure your item if you were using one of those complimentary ride lockers right at the attraction.
The single-use ones.
Yeah, opening it means your free use for that ride cycle is done. You'd likely have to rejoin the virtual queue if there was one, and maybe get another locker if you still needed it after requeuing. Bottom line, sort out your locker situation before your Tapu tells you to head to the line.
Makes sense. What if you rent one of the main Volcano Bay lockers for the day and forget which one is yours? Or the locker number?
Don't panic. Find any Universal team member. They should be able to help you locate it. It's also smart, as the source suggested, tell someone else in your group the number just as a backup. The theme park source also mentions scanning your ticket might help locate it at other parks, so maybe that feature exists or they have systems.
Okay. At the main theme parks, for those ride-specific lockers, what if your stuff doesn't fit in the small free one?
The source clarified that at Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, you can usually use multiple complimentary lockers for one ride if needed, assuming they're available. But if you're paying for a locker like a prepaid water ride locker or a daily rental, you pay for each locker you use.
And Volcano Bay's main lockers are paid daily rentals, so one payment per locker. Got it. What about child swap? If you're swapping adults to ride, do you need a locker?
Technically, no. If one adult is staying behind with the non-riding child, they can just hold the bags. You just need to inform the ride attendant you're using child swap.
But you might still want one.
Yeah, the sources suggest you might still choose to use a locker anyway, just to make life easier for the waiting adult. They won't have to juggle bags and a kid while the other parent rides. Convenience factor.
Good point. If the locker areas seem like total chaos, especially near the front.
2 tips. Head towards the back of the locker bank. The ones right near the aisle entrance always fill up first and get congested. Also, try sending just one person from your group to handle the rental and loading-unloading. Lessens the crowd.
Smart. Will stuff in the lockers stay dry if there's a Florida downpour?
Mostly, but not guaranteed waterproof. Most locker banks are under some kind of roof, but maybe not completely sealed from driving rain. Best bet. Wrap electronics or anything sensitive in a plastic bag before putting it in the locker. Or try to pick a locker bank that looks really well sheltered.
Okay. What about storing medical supplies?
The advice is to see a team member, either at guest services or at the specific attraction entrance, to discuss accommodations for necessary medical items. They'll help figure out the best approach.
And a strategic tip for multi-park visitors. Where to get a locker on your last day visiting Universal Parks.
The suggestion was to think about where you'll end your day. If you're park hopping or visiting parks on consecutive days, maybe renting a locker just outside the park you'll finish in, like at City Walk near the exits, could be smart. That way, your stuff is waiting for you right as you leave for your hotel or car. No need to walk all the way back into a park.
Interesting thought. And finally, a quick recap of what you can and can't bring into Volcano Bay. Bag checks happen.
Right. Key allowed items. Bottled water, up to 2 liters per person. Small snacks that don't need heating or refrigeration. Necessary medical food supplements, baby food formula, and small soft-sided coolers. Specific dimensions usually apply, like 8.5 by 6 by 6 inches.
And the big no-nos.
Generally. No glass containers, no open alcohol, though you can buy it inside. No large or hard-sided coolers, no big picnic lunches or food needing heating refrigeration. No weapons, obviously. No clothing considered offensive. And nothing that looks like staff or emergency personnel uniforms.
Standard park stuff, mostly. Good to know the specifics.
Knowing those policies ahead of time definitely saves hassle at security.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground today. A real deep dive into Volcano Bay, using everything from official guides to personal stories.
We really have. From that intricate Waturi origin story and the creation of the island by Krakatoa.
Through the absolute nuts and bolts of the Tapu Tapu virtual queue, the strategic locker system.
The surprisingly gourmet-sounding food scene, breaking down the rise from the terrifying Kokiri drop to the amazing Fearless River.
And even seeing how it compares to a park like Typhoon Lagoon.
Our mission really was to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight from all these sources, give you that well-informed perspective, those actionable tips, and maybe some surprising facts about what makes Volcano Bay, well, tick.
And thinking back to that really rich backstory, the whole idea of the imprisoned fire spirit, Vol, inside the volcano, and how they're integrating interactive elements with Tapu Tapu Play, letting you maybe even talk to Vol.
It really does open up possibilities for how theme parks might evolve, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So here's the final thought to leave you with, based on all this. Given how Universal is blending this really detailed narrative with interactive technology, not just for queuing, but for environmental effects, and potentially even character-based storytelling, like with Vol.
Yeah.
How might future theme parks push this even further? Could guests become more active participants in actually unfolding the park's story as they explore, not just passively experiencing a preset narrative?
Ooh, like your choices matter.
Yeah. Could the technology track your interactions, the Tapu Tapu points you activate, maybe even the rides you choose, to offer a truly personalized story experience within the park itself?
That is a fascinating question about the future of immersive storytelling in these physical spaces. Definitely something to mull over next time you're waiting for your virtual queue to pop.